Welcome to the first official episode of Behind the Pen, where I will be breaking down all of my music line by line and going over the meaning behind what I wrote. One, because genius will not respond back to me. And two, because my songs deserve their stories shared. Today, we will be breaking down my newest single, ICMs. Now, I get this question a lot. Does ICMs actually stand for something? And it does. It actually stands for two things. It stands for ice cold Maseratis, because who does not want a blue Maserati? I mean, I had my first drive in a Maserati when I went to LA, and it was like a deep blue. It was just gorgeous. The only thing would I ever buy a Maserati though, eventually I'd have to get mine custom made because the stock models are way too short for me. Like, I was getting a Charlie horse driving that thing. If y'all know me, I got long legs. I'm a tall lady, okay? So, yeah, so it stands for Ice Cold Maseratis. And the second meaning is I see millions, because at the time that I was sitting down to write this song, I was just envisioning all that life could have available for me. And at minimum, I saw that I could get about $1 million about this thing. Okay, at minimum. So, that's that. Alright, so let's get started with the actual song. I'm sorry that I did not care enough quicker. Serving up the hooks with the bars, y'all better tip up. So, I was thinking about the times that I have not only let myself down, but others down as well. My biggest flaw most of the time is I know how to quickly not care about something. And I don't think that we were built to not care. And what happens when you don't care is that you just give up. You don't try hard. You don't become a master at what you're supposed to do. So when things get too tough, I check out. And this was a moment in time where I had caught myself checking. I had been checked out for I think like 3 months at that point. I had stopped writing. I stopped showing up musically, and people depend on me. The same way I depend on them and my community and my team, they depend on me. So whenever I'm away, it's just not as efficient, effective, or poured into as it could be. So I was apologizing to those people for not being present, for not being available. Serving up the hooks with the bars, y'all better tip up. So the lead is what sets up the bar, and the hook is the gotcha moment. So the lead is when you're setting up the joke. The hook is the actual moment. And I'm letting you know I'm serving up the hooks with the bars. So I'm giving you bars. Y'all better tip up, because it's like a play on the word bar. You know, I'm giving you a bar, you're at a bar. Tip me because I'm giving you bars. Synchronized swimmers couldn't keep up with the drip. They always fall in love. I love them back so we don't trip. I'm letting you know people cannot keep up with me. You can try all you want to, but you will never keep up with me. Synchronized swimmers who play in water all day couldn't keep up with my drip, so you can't either. Okay? They always fall in love. I love them back so we don't trip, baby. You either love me or you hate me, and we'll get to that later on in the line. But for those who love me and I love you, they love me fully. My people who are about me are about me. They ride for me, and I ride for them. It is not a one-sided thing. If you love me, I love you. And obviously, my love isn't contingent on somebody's love for me, but I'm letting you know that it would not be a lack of. I do anything and everything for the people that I care about. Even sometimes to my own detriment, which is actually something I'm working on actively now. But yeah, so you either, you love me, and because I love you and you love me, we don't fight. I don't go looking for beef. If somebody's beefing with me, it's one-sided. I'm going to say what I have to say. I'm going to feel how I have to feel, but it is all in love. Natural, hottie in the ice cold Maserati. Ate up all the angles where the crumbs was hungry. Pushing through the struggle cause I'm rolling in the Humvee. Finna say the truth, they either hate me or they love me. So I'm a natural hottie. Boop. I was in an ice cold Maserati. That's that blue Maserati I was telling you about. I was eating up the angles. because it looked good. I looked real good. I'll drop video evidence here and here. Pushing through the struggle. So I'm rolling in a Humvee. Y'all, if you know me, you know that I struggle. Life is hard. I don't avoid it. I actually lean into struggling most times. People call me a little crazy for that. Like, I'm the type of girl when I'm on my cycle, I don't even take painkillers. Like, I'll just sit through for the rest of the day, but I don't know, it's who I am. So, and I struggle not only mentally, but I struggle financially, I struggle emotionally. Like, that's just my plight. One, because I follow Christ, but two, because I care so much, and it is what it is. And as I push through the struggle, I'm rolling in my RAV4, which I paid off. When I think about it, I think about how I, like, you know, Jeeps, when you do the like the off-road driving, that's kind of what I was thinking of, like, what could push me through these tough times, and it's my car. It's my car. It takes me all over the city. I be rolling through Houston. I roll through Dallas. I roll through Austin. Again, where's Chanel? I don't know, doing something. Finna say the truth. They either hate me or they love me. I gave y'all foreshadowing then because I mentioned it in this song here. I have a unique personality. I'm not oblivious to that. Some people really, it's like the type of personality that you either really hate or you really love. And it's a bit, I am a bit polarizing. I've tried working on that. But then I also realized I don't care. Like, you either are going to love me as I am in this moment or you're not. Like, I'm kind of over putting myself in a box so I could fit everybody's personality. I don't care. So for those who love me, you love me. If you hate me, keep your space in your place. I'm good on it. It's all love here. But yeah, I don't care to be loved by everybody. Jesus wasn't, so I won't be. 2 half-truths make a hole in my mind. Now I'm digging even deeper through the ocean of lies. I think it's finally time we gave the kid a real try. They've been working money perking, there's a groove in their stride. 2 half-truths make a hole in my mind. Because you're taking 2 half-truths and I'm making it a whole. Okay, and that's on fractions. That's on fractions. And like, usually if you have to say a half-truth, you gotta say at least one other half-truth to kind of tie up the fact that you're doing a half-truth. So it's pretty much a whole lie at that point. And if you're lying to me now, I'm already thinking, like, what other things have you lied to me about? Especially if it's a small white lie. Like, what are you lying about? So I'm digging through the ocean of lies. I think it's finally time we gave the kid a real try. They've been working, money perking, there's a groove in they stride. I think it's time that we put me on top. I'm not gonna lie. And I may be biased, but have I been working? Yup. Is the money perking? Yup. It's also getting spent on these projects, on these musical projects. I am working on a film now, so money's getting spent at all times. So, but there's a groove in my stride. So when you see me, I'm jumping, I'm skipping, I'm happy, I'm singing. Like, give me a try. Hashtag Chanel Drip 2026, 2027, okay? Being real, there's a room for substitution. Scratching up my journal while I'm inking up my new pen. I have been me. You can never be me. You will never be me, and I will never be you. I've been real. You can't substitute me. You can't replace me, because you ain't me. Period. I'm scratching up my journal while I'm inking up my new pen. I'm writing. I'm in the studio. I'm in my home studio cooking. Okay? My hair is a new blend, a new mind, a new lens. When it comes to shots, I'm finna take more than 2 friends. My hair is a new blend. I mean, sometimes it's Remy, sometimes it's human. It's really given whatever the pockets are given at the time. If I'm gonna be real with you, hair is like the least of my concerns when it comes to my music. Like, I definitely prioritize investments into my music and my other creativity than my hair. So you'll even catch me wearing a synthetic sometimes. It's not above me. I don't care. I grew up in the beauty shop. So a new mind, a new lens. This is, I think, one of my favorite parts because like when I was writing this song, I had come out of almost a depression, I would say. And during my depression, I would pity myself. Like, that is such a bad habit I have. When I'm depressed, I'll just go into a cycle of self-pity. And I realized that life is going to be the exact same, and the only difference is going to be how I perceive it. So I wanted to think different at that point. I wanted to get out of my depression. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to do better. And the only way that I could see different was for me to think different. So when I say a new mind, I'm saying a new perspective, a new lens. I'm seeing things differently so I can move differently. I can feel differently. And oftentimes, I'm not saying it happens overnight, because it definitely does not happen overnight. It takes a lot of work and intentionality, and maybe even sometimes tapping in professionals. I go to talk therapist whenever I feel like I need the help. So, and I did end up engaging a therapist like shortly after this song as well, to just kind of help with the thought process of, I need a new mind. I need to see things differently. So she really helped me with that. Shout out to BetterHelp, because my therapist was off of BetterHelp, and it was just super convenient and helpful. This is not sponsored at all, but it helped me in a crunch. So a new mind, a new lens. When it comes to shots, I'm finna take more than 2, friend. So there are 2 meanings behind this, okay? I do not give up. You can tell me no. I'm not going to accept your no. I'm going to come to no on my own. If I want, let's say, like investment money, and you tell me no, I'm going to go find someone else. You're not my first or last stop. I'm going to take 2 shots at minimum. And it's like at minimum. Most times I am doing 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 shots. I mean, even this music stuff, I've been in the industry for 5 years intentionally. I've been writing my whole life, but I've been intentionally making music, building my brand for 5 years. That's more than 2 shots, but I'm not giving up. So I'm letting you know, if when it comes to shots, I'm going to take more than 2. I'm definitely about to stand up for me. Now 2, I live a sober life. I don't do anything. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, none of that stuff. But when I do decide to pop out, if I am getting a shot, I'm gonna get 2 at minimum. I'm gonna get 2 at minimum. That's why I don't do it. I'm gonna get 2 at minimum though. It's gonna be a time. But that's why I don't do it. That's why I don't do it. Okay. I don't promote drinking, all that stuff. I'm gonna put a link here. If you have a drinking problem, please seek professional assistance. I think drinking is one of those slippery slopes, and in the industry, it's around you all the time. In my humble opinion, it's best to just stay away. It has kept me safe. It's kept me healthy. Thank you, Jesus, for that. Back to working nights, riding so the team only argue over flights, living parables when my pockets feeling tight. Because I'm refreshed. Like, I'm telling you, I'm back. We're here. Back to working nights. Y'all, I work a beautiful 9-to-5 job now because God has blessed me. But my music, it means so much to me. I cannot stop, literally. So I end up working into the wee hours of the night, either on a project with other creatives. Recently, I've been working on revamping my sound, and I'm working with some producers, and we've been like cooking every night trying to put something together. So I'm back to working nights, and I'm writing so the team only argue over flights. I don't like arguing over money. I don't like arguing over men. I don't like arguing over perspective. If I'm with my man, I'll argue with him a little bit just because I think it keeps it a little spicy. I'm writing so my team only argue over where we finna sit when we fly out to Bali. Are we going to Bali? We going to Japan? Like, those are the type of arguments I'm trying to have. Okay? Especially when it comes to my music. I'm an independent artist. I run everything. I am growing my team to help me. But one thing I'm not going to argue about is my image, my branding, or anything like that. You could respectfully leave. I'm open to opinions, though. I'm open to constructive criticism always. Live in parables when my pocket's feeling tight. If you know me, you know I love the Lord. And I'm not going to say I'm a starving artist, because I don't starve, and I thank God for that. But it is hard being an artist. It's expensive being an artist when you don't have a team, you don't have backing. So there are times where I just don't have food to eat. There are times where I had been late on my bills. There have been times where I was just in deep financial ruin because I was pushing my brand. And a lot of times, I don't think that's talked about enough for those who take this like very seriously and are by themselves. It takes a significant amount of investment. I mean, it really does. And I think even Ari Lennox had talked about the financial crisis she was in due to her touring. It is expensive. Now, I am blessed to be able to manage. You know, I've gotten to the point now in my artistry, since I'm like 5 years in, I've learned my balance, at least for now. Back then, I would just spend, and I'd come home and there's no food in my fridge, and I'm like, and I would just fast, literally for a week, drinking water and like whatever fruits I could get. Like, it was crazy. But now I have learned a balance. However, it's still tough. It is still tough. So during those times where my pockets are feeling tight, I think about the story of how God brought the Israelites through the woods, and he gave them just enough manna to make it for 40 years. Like, they had just enough. And I think about that. When my pockets are tight, when I can't eat the way I want to eat, when I can't move the way I want to move, when I can't travel the way I want to travel, I know that that's okay, because God gave me just enough for today. When I'm borderline being risky, because if you know me, I'm a very risky person. Like, I could have $500 to my name, and I will go on a trip and be like, hey, I got a network. It is what it is. He'll be like, oh my God, what if you get stranded? Da, 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 da. God will provide, and I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. I've lived it. Like, y'all, okay, this is like a mini rant, but this is an example of this line. I went to Las Vegas because I was doing some sports betting, and I had already booked my flight. I had already booked the hotel. However, what I did not know was those hotels, I had like 1,000 to my name. I had 1,000 to my name. I didn't know those hotels had required daily security deposits. I was there for 7 days, okay? So you're already doing the math. I came with 1,000 and the security deposit for 7 days. And the security deposit was like $150. Y'all, that took all my little change. So now I'm looking around like, I am in this state for 7 days with, I think at that point, $75 to my name. And the first thing I did was pray. I was like, oh my God. And I was with friends, right? So I let them know what happened. They were super cool about it. They like spotted me money, but like, that was God. That's nothing but God at work. All good that comes is from God. And I was like, it was my first experience actually realizing the extent of his coverage in my life, the extent of his care in my life. Like, he could have made them not have enough money either. They had enough money for themselves and for me. And like, obviously when I got back, I paid them back, and I was super grateful, and like, it was a whole thing. But living parables with my pockets feeling tight. Yeah, I got sass. I used to watch Nick at Night. And that's enough for you to understand who I am, where I come from, and where my attitude comes from. If you meet any like mid-90s to late 90s baby, we have a certain little je ne sais quoi to us, okay? We got a certain attitude to us. And I do blame Nick at Night for that. I blame That's So Raven. I really inherited a lot of my attitude from Raven. I love her. Like, that show was my show. I'd be like, and then it's the course, again, sorry that I did not get enough quicker. Serving up the hooks with the bars, y'all better tip up. Synchronized swimmers couldn't keep up with the drip. They always fall in love, I love them back so we don't trip. Natural, happy in the exclamation sobriety. Ate up all the angles where the crumbs waddles hungry. Push through the struggle, so I'm rolling in the Humvee. Finna say the truth, they either hate me or they love me. Ponder on this word when my ego must die. You gotta realize with Christ, we're alive. Like, without him, we would be dead walking in our flesh. Like, without him, we are dead walking in our flesh. He is the pump. He is the life. He is the man. So anytime that I start to feel my heart hardening or I feel myself falling, I just remind myself, this life was never mine in the first place. It was God's. And like the moment I just refocus, I reshift, I rethink who I am, what I am, and my purpose, it all comes back. Ponder on his word when my ego must die. One thing y'all learn about Chanel, I mean, I struggle with all the sins. I'm not gonna lie. But like my pride, my pride, y'all. And honestly, it's been a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. I wrote this years ago. But at that time, it was like the first realization that I do have issues with my pride. And it was an honest moment. Like this whole song was me being ridiculously honest with myself and who I am. When I want my ego to die, the first thing I do when my ego needs to die is pray. That's the first thing I do. I go to God and I'm like, I need you to kill this. Because I can't. And I don't want to. Oftentimes, I'm talking to God and asking him to change something that I really don't see a problem with and I really don't want to change. But because I know his word, I know it needs to. So I ponder on his word when my ego must die. I ponder on what he tells me. I ponder on the food he gave me. And I'm like, am I feeding myself something nutritious? Or am I going to like a McDonald's and trying to seek a God in the world? You know, I feel like we all end up seeking a higher power. It's just, is your higher power going to be money? Is it going to be fame? Is it going to be God? And I choose to see God. I fall in and out of my materialism. I fall in and out of my pride and my ego. But at the end of the day, that's who I want to serve. And that's who I'm always looking for. And the song ends. I'm sorry that I did not get enough. Quicker, 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 quicker. Serving hooks with the bars, y'all better tip up, tip up. Hey, hey, was that a bar? So I wanted to shout out at the end, like, in fact, like that serving up the hooks with the bar, y'all better tip up, in itself was a bar, and it was like a crafty one. So I just wanted to point that out. And then, da 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 da. What? Da 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 da. What? Thank you so much for listening to the breakdown of ICMs. I hope thoroughly that you enjoyed this. And if there is a song of mine that you want to listen to, drop it in the comments below. Let me know so I can break down the next song for you. See you soon. Y'all want to say bye to Luffy?
I'm sorry that I did not get enough quicker. Serving up the hooks with the bars, y'all better tip up. Synchronized swimmers couldn't keep up with the drip. They always fall in love, I love them back so we don't trip. Natural, hottie in the exclamation sobriety. Ate up all the angles where the crumbs while those hungry.